You are listening to Food Delight on VOV 24/7, the show for all you foodies out there. Hello everyone, you're listening to VOV 24/7's Food Delight with Kimchi, your culinary guide today. When the weather gets warmer and the holidays are around the corner, it's definitely time for a barbecue. When mentioning barbecue, you may immediately think of skewers of meat or fish cooked outdoors over a fire. But there is a lot more to discover about styles of barbecue across different cultures from around the world. On today's Food Delight, we'll learn about barbecue in Azerbaijan. With me on today's show is Chef John Davids, an Azerbaijani and Vice President of the World's Barbecue Association. He started by telling a beautiful story.
I will start with one small anecdote. I don't know if you've heard it or not, but do you believe that Prometheus carried fire? I don't know whether you believe or not that Prometheus acquired fire for mankind. The nickname of our country is the Land of Fire. In Azerbaijan, there has always been and will always be a burning site, a burning mountain, a burning land. In our country, one of the most impressive tourist monuments is the Flaming Mountain. If you go, you will see the mountains is in flames. It is for the century. In Azerbaijan, we have the temple of worshippers where people pray for fire. The history of barbecue starts from the ancient people when they first started to cook their food with fire, a very important step for civilization.
How much does barbecue mean to Azerbaijanis?
In Azerbaijan, barbecue holds a number one place. That is, in Azerbaijan, the kitchen, we can say, is partially built on barbecue. We have another name for barbecue. Barbecue is an international name. In Azerbaijan, we call it Shishlik.
That's a brief bit of history to explain why barbecue, or shishlik as they call it, so popular in Azerbaijan, the land of fire. Azerbaijanis love to make shishlik for family and friends gathered for picnics on weekends or summer holidays. A unique thing is that it is the men who take charge of the barbecue.
It turns out that in Azerbaijan, barbecue is cooked only by men. In Azerbaijan, this food is prepared only by men. As Azerbaijanis, our men never cook in the kitchen. But women also don't participate in cooking barbecue because it is a male job. It was historically tradition that women never go to the fire.
Azerbaijani has 9 climate zones, which contributes to the fertility of the land and richness of Azerbaijani cuisine. It is famous for an abundance of vegetables, the greens used seasonally in their dishes, and feeding of livestock. The barbecue is traditionally prepared with meat like lamb, pork, chicken, or beef and vegetables. For Azerbaijanis, they prefer not to use too many spices to keep the ingredients' original flavor.
Along with the meat, fish, and vegetables, we can cook a lot of food on the barbecue. This also means that it becomes tastier when it is cooked on the open fire. Another distinction of Azerbaijani cuisine is that we use very few spices. Any dish, any ingredient which is given to us by God has its own taste. We don't marinate the meat. It's never marinated because our meat is always young and tasty. In Azerbaijan, meat is always fresh and young, and so there's no need for it to be marinated.
How do you prepare the meats and other ingredients?
We take the fresh meat. We put it on these metallic stick called shish. When you start to prepare the shish, the barbecue, you have to use salt. Big and natural salt, not a mixed one. Big natural salt is very important. All barbecue is prepared from fresh meat or fish. Only salt, and that's it. It's a simple dish.
For Azerbaijani barbecue style, the focus is on the freshness of the meats and vegetables. The meat is simply marinated with big natural salt and grilled on the charcoal. Now comes the grilling process. Chef Don shows us a few tricks to have a tender and juicy meat.
Okay.
When it comes to coal in preparing for the barbecue, it is very important to know what kind of wood to use and how and when to cook. Coal is very important for a tasty barbecue. It depends on which wood, fruit wood or other wood, is very important. It also depends on the weather, which determines whether we need fast flaming coal or not. The best coal for barbecue is grape wood. Sometimes the coal also adds some very gentle taste to the meat.
That's basically how Azerbaijan-style barbecue is made. As I mentioned earlier, Azerbaijan boasts a wide variety of dishes and cuisine. Each region has its own specialties and, of course, its own barbecue style.
So there are one or two differences between BBQ in the region. In the mountains, when it is cold, people cook BBQ shishlik. They cook with more fat. In the mountains, the shishliks have more fat because of its climate zone. They're cold there. They need more energetic food. On the contrary, in the areas near the sea, they cook with lean meat because the people are mainly involved in fishing activities. In the mountains, they also use vegetables.
So barbecue is not just simply grilling meats on open charcoal. Each region, each part of the country has its own way to elevate the flavors of the dish and satisfy their taste buds. We just learned something about Azerbaijan-style barbecue with Chef Don David, Vice President of the World Barbecue Association. Surely there won't be more to talk about Azerbaijan cuisine on the next show.